Welcome to That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase, where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from the BizLinks TV studio. Brought to you by Visual Marketing Mentors, LLC. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I'm Pamela Alexander, your host, and as always, excited to bring to you great guests, businesses that we meet along the way through networking, nonprofit organizations, as well as associations. They have some great services, products to share with you, and their special causes as well. And today I have with me Dethra Giles. Welcome, Dethra.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, to share a little bit with you about Dethra, she is known as the Entrepreneur's HR Strategist. Dethra is a keynote speaker, executive coach, and national trainer on leadership, organizational development, conflict resolution, and career development. She's also the founding partner and chief consultant with ExecuPrep, LLC, a performance management consulting firm. She's also the author of Unstuck, Discovering Career-Limiting Actions. Dethra is committed to helping the masses become more efficient, effective, and focused while leading to greater profits and professional fulfillment. Now, I want to dive right in there, Dethra, and ask you, what exactly is performance management consulting?
Performance management is consulting, is going in, looking at companies, determining what things can they do differently or better around their people talent, their human capital, policies, procedures, processes, to help them get to the next level in their business.
Okay, wow. And then so when the different companies that you work with, what are the types of services that you offer through ExecuPrep?
A variety. So we work with them to go in and assess their talent.
Okay.
We look at their talent pool. We look at how they recruit their talent. We help them identify their mission, their vision, so they know where they're going. And one of the biggest things we do is organizational development, which is when we go in, look at how their organization is structured and help them build a structure that will help them get to that vision, that 5-10 years from now goal.
Okay, wow. So now let's talk about a little bit of the challenges that you see companies facing today as it relates to the HR services.
One of the biggest things is the talent pool. What we know is right now there is a labor shortage, but there's also this gap in employment. What we're finding is the two don't match.
Okay.
We have all these unemployed people, but we have all these jobs where this pool don't meet it. And so what we do is we go into companies and say, hey, you have this huge gap, for example, in the tech industry. We say you have a huge gap. Let's assess the talent you have and develop that talent to meet your needs.
Okay, now that's interesting. Now, on your website, you mentioned that you help companies with classification and compensation. What's that all about?
So classification and compensation is how people get their jobs and what they're paid.
Okay.
What we find with a lot of small businesses is that they don't pay people well.
Okay.
But we tell them you can't compete with the larger companies. You have to identify what the market will bear and determine what's appropriate to pay for top talent. You just don't just want talent. You want the best talent, because the best talent is going to get you to that 5-10 year goal.
Okay, wow. So now, how do the smaller companies compete with the larger companies when it comes to the talent pool that's out there and being able to kind of woo some of the best talent?
Great question. They can't compete on the basis of money.
Okay.
They can't outpay these larger multi-billion-dollar organizations. They have to have a total compensation package that's attractive for their talent pool, and that may mean flexible schedules, that may mean time off, that may mean working from home, that may mean working on bigger projects that they wouldn't have been able to work on elsewhere. They have to give a compensation package that that person would appreciate.
Okay, wow. So it sounds like just like companies have to woo their clients and tell them, what sets them apart and why they should use them over the other, especially if they don't necessarily compete on levels like pricing and whatnot. They have to do the same thing with their employees.
Absolutely. It's a symbiotic relationship. That's what I tell my clients. You are wooing them, and they are wooing you. You're trying to see if they're a good fit for you, and they're trying to see if you're a good fit for them. You have to make it a mutually beneficial relationship.
Wow. And so often I think companies don't think about the fact that they have to woo an employee that, they're thinking, it's tough to get a job out there. You should want to work for us. but they really have to
Absolutely.
spend that time wooing them.
They do. I've talked to people and they said, I will ask them, what's the benefit of working here? And they will say, oh, they get a paycheck.
Right,
Well,
right,
no,
right,
that's not the benefit of
right.
working here. They can go anywhere and get a paycheck.
Right.
Why you and why them?
Okay.
Make it worth their while.
Okay, so you really help them with being able to figure out how to do that, kind of what things do set them apart, so that they can attract the right employees.
Absolutely. I'd say what works for you. What is the same thing they do in their business. You want to know what's the value proposition. When you go and sell your business to another company, they want to know the value proposition. Why should I pay you over paying your competitor? A good employee wants to know the same thing. What's the value proposition?
Right.
Why would I bring my talents here as opposed to your competitor?
Okay. So now, what do you advise with companies that are having a challenge because they don't necessarily have all the funds that they need, and you now have employees that are really working multiple positions, so they're feeling truly overworked and underpaid?
What I tell my clients is talk to your employees. There is nothing worse than having someone guess what my needs are when I am an articulate professional and I can tell you exactly what
Okay.
I want to need.
Okay.
Bring your
Wow.
employees together and say, hey, I know times are hard. You're working more with less. What can I do to make this worth your
Okay.
while?
Okay.
Those exact words, and people will pour it out. And then they think, oh my gosh, this company
Right.
cares about me and I'm vested.
Fantastic. And because a lot of times they think it's all about the paycheck, and there's
Absolutely.
so much more in that balance for people now.
Absolutely. There's so much people, especially the upcoming generation, they don't care as much about money.
Yeah.
They're okay with less. You have to appeal to what they care about. Find out what that pressure point is and press it.
Wow, fantastic. So now, what are the types of companies that you work with, and what are some of your favorite types of companies to work with?
I work with all types of companies. I've consulted with the NBA,
Okay.
Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. My favorite companies are small businesses, those
Yeah,
companies
yeah.
that have 10 plus employees, and they're now starting to realize, you know what, I know what I do. Like, I know construction, but now a big portion of my company is people, and I don't know people.
Okay.
Come help me figure out this people component.
Yeah. Now, do you all step in and really take on an HR role for companies, or you just really advise those that may already have an HR department?
Well, we do a little bit of both. Some companies we come in and we help them establish an HR department, and during that time period, I have an implementation team that gets them to that point. Other companies will say, hey, we have an HR department, but it's my mom who's been
Okay.
here for the last 30 years of the
Right,
company. Can you
right.
come help us out and put in some policies and procedures? So the first thing we do is assess them. What does this company need in the way of capital management?
Okay.
And then we put into place something that will help them get to where they need to be.
Wow. Now, is there a minimum number of employees for the size company that you work with?
We don't have a minimum. Our sweet spot is 10 plus,
Okay.
but we've worked with people who said, you know what, I don't want to do this wrong. I'm getting ready to hire my first set of employees. It's just
Okay.
been me and my husband or me and my mom.
Okay.
I want to do this right.
Okay.
So we don't have a minimum that we'll work with, but our sweet spot is 10 plus. Those people
Okay.
that are starting to hit those federal guidelines.
Okay, okay. For the companies out there, I'm telling you, this is some great information, a great resource for you. Like Dethra mentioned, you don't want to do it wrong. Once you start really mixing up with the federal government, you want to make sure that you stay compliant with all the different rules and regulations that are out there, and really, again, that you make your company attractive for employees, and that you get the
Absolutely.
best employees out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I saw on your website that you all are working on a blog to provide more information and resources for the businesses. Share a little bit about that.
Well, our clients have said, Dethra, we can't call you every single hour. There is just some stuff that's basic. Can you help us? And I said, well, what do you want? And one of my clients in the tech industry said, I want a blog, do a blog.
Okay,
And I said,
great.
sure. So I threw something out there. It went over very well. And so I thought this is a great way to give people that little piece of information they need, because I do my business with integrity. Everyone doesn't need to pay me for every little thing. There are
Right.
little pieces of information they can get. Why not get it from us?
Wow, and that's fantastic. And that keyword integrity, and being a business that provides the resources. So many people want to keep all the information under wraps when you just grow so much more when you share that with others. So everyone, make sure that you check out ExecuPrep. And at this point, let's definitely tell them how to get in touch with you.
Absolutely. They can check us out on the web at execuprep.com. That's ExecuPrep.com. They can call us at 404-641-0709, and you can always email us at info@execuprep.com.
That's great. And then one other tidbit that I found out as well is that you all provide some other services like marketing, layout, and print design for companies. Share a little bit about that too.
Absolutely. Well, we have a component. We have consultants that work with us to do marketing. What we find is that a lot of small businesses aren't branded well. I'll
Yes.
ask them, "Where's your logo?" "Oh, I don't have a logo. I have this picture of my dad that we took 50 years ago."
Oh,
No,
wow.
that doesn't work for you. Your customers and your clients want to see
Yes.
that you're branded and that you can do for yourself what you're
Right,
saying you will do for
right.
them.
That is fantastic. I mean, that is really something that we stay on top of our businesses with, and when we're doing the training and really teaching
Absolutely.
them the importance of that branding. So having a company like yours that's working right alongside with them to help them with some of those services that they need, their brochure, their marketing message as well.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. People need to know, like I said, the value proposition.
Yeah.
What is your value proposition? When I'm reading this, sometimes that branding, that website, that brochure, they may never see you. That's the only introduction. It's your resume.
Right, right.
It's your resume to your potential client. Why should I come to you?
That is fantastic. So now tell me what sets ExecuPrep apart for some of the other companies that are offering some similar services.
Great. Well, we have a total package. What we talk about is training, coaching, and consulting. Training to
Okay.
meet the need, coaching for the new performance environment, and consulting to get you to where you are.
Okay.
We are in the trenches with our client. This is
Okay.
not just from a distance. We get in there and we do the work. And we've been there. I have a team of consultants that have been in small business, that know federal government, 8A. So we know this stuff. This is our expertise. This is not something we just fell into.
Yeah, yeah, that is fantastic. And if you all heard me at the top when I was telling you about Dethra, another little tidbit that sets her apart is she is an author, and she wrote the book Unstuck: Discovering Career Limiting Actions. So, just even sharing more information. Tell everyone about your book.
The book was a blessing. It came from me from an executive coaching client because in ExecuPrep we also do executive coaching, and she came to me and said, "You know what? I am ready to file a discrimination complaint."
Okay.
I said, "Wait a minute, why? Give me 30 days." And in 30 days, I convinced her that it wasn't really discrimination, that there were some career limiting actions that she was committing that was stopping her, that was having her bump into what she perceived as the glass ceiling. When we fixed it, turned around, and she became one of my best clients, actually went on to work with a major sports organization as an
Wow.
executive. So that's how the book really came about. I realized that there are people out there that are doing things that are actually stopping them from getting where they want to be.
Right. Wow, that is something, and just that's that little extra piece I think that they get and that they'll get from ExecuPrep. The book is fantastic, and we even see out on your Facebook you have photos of people holding your book. And what are they saying that they're getting
Yeah,
unstuck?
getting I just kind of
Yeah,
started. One person did it, and then everyone said, "I want my picture there
that
too."
is
So they're
great.
getting unstuck.
That is great. Everyone, make sure you follow Dietrich. Tell them your Facebook page so they can go out there.
It's Dethra Giles. It's that simple.
Okay.
Dethra Giles. Dethra Giles.
Wow, that is fantastic. So now in your experience, do you think professionals are really walking around stuck? How stuck are they?
Absolutely. Oh, they're really stuck. And the problem is they don't even know it. They're frustrated, they're angry, and we know that angry people come to work and make other people miserable.
That's it.
And they don't know. They
Wow.
start off, they're the best performer ever, and all of a sudden they have that plateau and then it goes down and they don't know what's wrong.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Dietrich, just so much information, so much that we can ask her, not only about the book, so of course we're going to have to bring you on Book Your Success so we can talk about the book in detail. You all keep an eye out on that on our Book Your Success show. And then also just all the great information that Dietrich has to share with Executive Prep. We're going to talk them into a show for you all. We want to make sure that you all comment on this show. Go to our YouTube channel, comment on this show. It's youtube.com/BizlinksTV. Let us know if this would be content that you're truly interested in, wanting to hear more about it. I can imagine I would love to hear more about it, so we'd love to get them on doing that. Dietrich, great information. Again, before we go, please tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, how they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. ExecuPrep.com. You can also call 404-641-0709, and the email always works. info@execuprep.com.
Fantastic. Everyone, make sure that you follow up. If you're having challenges with your HR or you don't have HR and you need to start, make sure that you reach out to Executive Prep, and also make sure that you get unstuck. We want to thank you, Dethra, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I am Pamela Alexander, your host for That's My Biz. You can check us out, our on-demand episodes at bizlinks.tv. You can also view us again on our YouTube channel, BizLinks TV. And for those of you that have the Roku and you've gotten rid of that cable and you still want to watch these great shows on your TV, you can do that with the Roku box. If you don't have one yet, get it. You can find us out on the HerTube network, and also look for BizLinks TV shortly for our own network with all of our great shows that we have to share with you. And remember, we want to expose your business to the world. Until next time. Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed on demand on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are interested in having your products, services, or special cause showcased on our program, submit an inquiry to that'smybiz@bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at bizlinks.tv.